Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu orders investigation into recurring fatal boat mishaps. Pastor Moino announces plan to train at least 31 state youths on Songhai agricultural technology. Now, in a moment. Into the recurring tragedy of fatal boat incidents across the nation. This is contained in a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity Ajuri Ngelale today in Abuja. Tinubu said government agencies will be held accountable for any regulatory or safety lapses, urging that comprehensive safety measures and enforcement must be carried out. Maritime safety and transportation safety authorities to collaborate in identifying the causes of these unfortunate and preventable disasters. Tinubu extended his heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims who lost their lives in the recent boat mishaps in Mokwa local government area of Niger and Gurin village in Fufore local government area of Adamawa. He expressed solidarity with the governments and people of Niger and Adamawa as they mobilized emergency response teams and volunteers to provide assistance to victims of the incidents. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has directed the immediate payment of insurance entitlements owed to the third quarter's conference today in Abuja. According to reports, the conference is being attended by army field commanders and heads of institutions and establishments. Lagbaja said that the welfare of troops and their families was of paramount importance and pledged to consolidate all existing welfare arrangements to enhance the well-being of troops and their families to keep them focused on their tasks. In the meantime, the chairman of the 60 different forms of taxes and levies, Oyedele, made this known in a live broadcast with journalists. He said, while the money they got most of the time was not remitted to government coffers. According to him, some local government were taking advantage of the constitution levy payments such as wheelbarrow tax and pure water tax on the poor in society who were struggling to make ends meet. Elsewhere, Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that President Bola Tinubu would prioritize domestic health financing and industrialization. The Vice President stated this when a delegation from the Global Health Partners, the Global Fund, U.S. President's Malaria Initiative, PMI, and the U.S. President's Emergency paid him a courtesy visit at the presidential villa. Shettima, who restated the commitment of the Tinubu administration, pledged the president's political support to improve healthcare outcomes for all Nigerians, increase domestic financing for health, and promoting health industrialization. He urged the stakeholders in the health sector to support the new leadership in the health ministry to actualize the president's vision for all Nigerians. Earlier in his remarks, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, said the visit of the take stock on the progress made so far and reassure the Tinubu administration of their commitment to the efforts to combat HIV/AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis, among others. On the spot, the U.S. Global AIDS Coordinator John Nkengansong said the visit, which coincided with the commemoration of U.S. government's 20 years of support to Nigeria's fight against HIV/AIDS through the PEPFAR initiative, has provided opportunity and direction of the Tinubu administration for the health sector. Away from that, now the national coordinator of the National Mental Health Program at the Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Tundou Zhou, has said that the treatment gap in mental health cases is about 90%. Zhou said this at a press briefing in commemoration of the 2023 World Suicide Prevention Day, creating hope through action. According to the coordinator, the federal neuropsychiatry hospitals in the country have increased from 8 to 10 in the last 2 years, and Nigeria has made the act will facilitate access to mental health for Nigerians. Meanwhile, the Minister of Transportation, Saidu Alkali, inaugurated the first cargo movement from the Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor during his first official tour of the rail corridor today. The minister kicked off the tour at the Ebute Metta station before proceeding to Apapa for the lunch, then traveled to Ibadan using the 157 kilometers rail corridor. Reports say 3 coaches of 30 wagons were loaded as the inaugural freight movement was kicked off. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) said it would start with 3 coaches per day, with its managing director MD noting that the corporation numbers. This effort is expected to decongest the Apapa port, as shippers moved 92.28% of Nigeria's total exports and 60.77% of imports through the facility in the first quarter of 2022. The Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) has said that the number of delisted loan apps rose from 9 to 37. It said the number of fully approved loan apps also grew to 164 from 154, and the number of loan apps with conditional approval declined to 38 from 40, while number of apps on the Commission's watch list grew to 56 from 20. According to the Commission, delisted loan apps were permanently deleted by Google from Play Store, adding that its decision followed a shake-up of the digital money lending space by the Commission after harassment of Nigerians by the lenders. In another development, the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has released the list of some of the 135 roads inaugurated for rehabilitation and resurfacing in Wuse, Garki, Gwarimpa and Maitama districts. The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, who inaugurated Phase 1 of the projects, gave the contractors a 6-month list of the streets for rehabilitation and resurfacing.